Hello my lovelies, today you are just going to be seeing my hand because we're going to be focusing on this incredibleness right here. So today's video is all about my travel makeup bag and what I have in it. So this might look a little bit excessive right now, and that's because this is like my go-to glam products. So typically when I go away, it's either for beauty related events in Sydney, or I'm sort of at the age now where lots of my friends are getting married. So they are the type of events that you want to get really nice and glam for. So I definitely want to be able to pack away all my holy grails to do that full beat glam. So this beautiful number is by the incredible Vanity Collections. So if you guys have seen my makeup organization videos, then you would recognize that name. I get a lot of my acrylic storage pieces from them. For example, this is from Vanity Collections, so is the brush holder over there. So this is a brand new piece in their range, and it is just awesome. It is honestly such an incredible bag, and it fits everything. So as you can see, it looks kind of like a laptop case. It's just very, very simple, but it is so practical, and I'm just living for it. So one of the coolest things about this makeup case is all of these dividers are interchangeable, and you can remove any you don't need. So as you see, I have some extras here because I don't need them, but they're all fully adjustable and customizable, so you can literally change them to fit any and all of your different size products. Now, if you don't have quite as much makeup as me, don't feel like you can't utilize this sort of makeup case. This would be perfect still for your everyday makeup, and I would just pop like your toiletries and stuff in here too, or even if you only have a few makeup pieces but you have hair tools, you can definitely pop some hair tools in there. So as you can see, it's also got this top section. It actually has a place for you to put anything like your curling wands or your straighteners and stuff like that, so you can utilize this for many of things. So we'll start off with the base products. So the first thing is my Dermalogica Active Moist Daytime Moisturizer. So this is an oil-free moisturizer, and it is literally my favorite at the moment. And then we have my Holy Grail Primer, and it is the Benefit Matte Rescue. You guys know how much I love this. I believe it really does help to keep my skin that little bit more matte throughout the day, and it also helps my foundation just to apply so much more seamlessly. So I love that, baby. Then I also have my Tarte Marajuka Eye Cream. You've got to keep those under eyes hydrated, guys. If you're not using eye cream, get amongst it. It makes your concealer apply 10,000 times better. Then I have my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus Water. Literally cannot live without this. It just makes your skin feel so great, and I love just spritzing my bare face with it. In this little section, I have first off my two all-time favorite concealers. So I have these in two shades. I have Fair Neutral and Light Neutral. Fair Neutral is better for me when I'm not fake tan, and Light Neutral is better for me when I am fake tan. I've got some foundations. So the first up is my current holy grail. It is the Tarte Clay Stick Foundation. I seriously love this foundation, guys. I use it most commonly in my shade Medium Sand, but if you watch my latest haul, you would know I have this in like 3 colors now because I need to have it for every color of the rainbow that I decide to be. So I've got the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. So prior to discovering the Tarte Clay Stick, this was my holy grail, and I typically wear it in the shade Y245. It is a really great foundation, however it's not as full coverage as the Tarte Clay Stick, and I feel like the Tarte Clay Stick makes me look that little bit more airbrush. Oh, then I have a Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I have this one in shade 3, but I actually have been preferring shade 2. It's that little bit lighter, so it gives me a little bit more of a natural looking brow, and as you can see, it is like a super defined brow pencil. It's got the spoolie on the end as well. Oh, and then I have my 3 favorite lipsticks, and as you can see, they are all MAC. So this first one is a limited edition lipstick from the MAC and Mariah Carey collab, and it's called Darling, and it would have to be my all-time favorite lipstick color. It is just so perfect. It's like the perfect little bit of pink mixed with nude, and the packaging literally kills me. So next up I have MAC Myth, and I just think this nude is so freaking gorgeous. I love wearing it with a little bit of a darker lip liner. And then next up I have Cream Cup, which is much more of a pinky colored nude, and it is like the perfect shade of pink. So next up we have some of my favorite palettes in this section. The first being the Kylie Cosmetics Burgundy palette. I've been loving this ever since it first came out. It is seriously one of the nicest palettes I've ever used in my entire life. Let me just adjust my lighting. I'm sorry if my lighting's all over the place in today's video too. The sun keeps coming out and going away, but I'm just just trying to persevere. So my favorite shades out of this palette are these top two for in my crease, this in my outer corner, this one all on my lid, and then I usually pop this on my inner corner, and it just creates the most perfect copper smoky eye. Then I have, of course, the ever so famous Modern Renaissance. This palette is to die for, honestly. Look at those shades. How can anyone argue with the fact that this is one of the greatest palettes of all time? It has the most perfect combination of warm and cool tone. Warm and cool tone. Oh my gosh, I get so tongue-tied. It is literally insane. But it has the best combination of cool and warm tones. So regardless of what I'm feeling that day, I know I'm going to have options in this particular palette. So a few of my favorite shades are, of course, the two shimmers. These are beautiful. And then I love this dark brown on the outer right-hand side and this incredibly warm shade. They would have to be my favorites. And then these two are perfect for through your crease. I just love the palette overall, but they would have to be my favorite shades. Next up, this is one of the greatest highlighting palettes of all time. It is the Anastasia and Nicole Guerrero highlighting palette. Seriously, these shades are so damn pretty. I just love them so much. So I feel like they definitely do have a little bit of glitter in them. So if you're not a fan of like glittery highlights, then you probably wouldn't like this. But this Glow Getter shade is my #1 holy grail, all-time favorite highlighter color. It is incredible. And when I'm not fake tan, I just simply like mixing Forever Lit with any of these colors, and they're absolutely perfect. And I feel like they give the most blinding, incredibly beautiful highlight ever. Like whenever I wear any of these, my highlight is always popping in my videos, and it just makes me so happy. Next up, I have my Benefit Hoola Light, and this is just such a great bronzing shade. It's just not too warm, not too cool. It is just my favorite, and I love using it by itself and also to set cream contouring products. Then I just have a pack of simple cleansing wipes in here as well, because I always need to have my makeup wipes with me when I'm doing my makeup. And like obviously makeup's a little bit messy, and I can't stand getting dirty. I can't stand dirty fingers, dirty tabletops, dirty mirrors, dirty palettes. So I'm forever wiping things down with these wipes. Then right down the very bottom, I have my current favorite lashes. These are the Ardell Studio Effect Demi Wispies. So they are the same style as the traditional Demi Wispies, but they have thicker outer corners, and also I believe the whole lash in its entirety is a little bit thicker, but especially in the outer corners. Then in this compartment, I have the best cream contour bronzing product in existence. This is the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. Don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I think that's pretty close. I'm just Australian, so I have like a horrible accent to pronounce things that are French. But seriously guys, I've had this for so long and it doesn't even look like I've even used it. Like this product will definitely expire before I even get to the bottom of it, but it is so amazing, so pigmented. It has the most perfect undertone ever. And guys, it's Chanel, so it's bougie AF, and you guys know how much I love my bouginess. I love a bit of bougie in my life. Then I have a brand new favorite in the family, and it is the iconic London Illuminator Drops. I really want to get the original color because I feel like the original color is going to be my everything, but this just gives the most beautiful highlighted cheekbones. But you can also mix it with your moisturizer, your primer, or your foundations if you're just wanting to give your base makeup a really beautiful luminous glow. Then I have some dirty beauty blenders because I cannot function without my beauty blenders. I need a makeup sponge as well as brushes because I don't know, it just all depends on my mood. At the moment, I seem to be using beauty blenders more than brushes for my foundation and concealer. In the back here, I have some of my favorite setting powders. So I only hauled the IT Cosmetics CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder recently, and I've been using it ever since, and it is seriously such a good powder. I like using it as an all-over powder foundation for those more light natural makeup days, and I also like using it to set my under eyes, to set my liquid foundations and everything. So this shade is in the color Light. So I use Light to set under my eyes when I'm fake tan, and when I'm not fake tan, I use the shade Fair. And then for the rest of my face, I like to use the shade Medium. Now, if I'm doing my makeup and I'm planning on wearing it for like a bulk amount of time, then I will always use my Laura Mercier translucent powder because it just helps to really lock everything in place amazingly. Then I have some more bronzing products in here because, you know, YOLO. It's either usually like the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and at the moment, because I've got this new bronzer, it's the Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Nude Bronze Light by Hourglass. So this is a new addition to the family, so I've been trying to give it a little bit of a workout, but it's a really nice topper. So, or if you want something a little bit more natural, then I'd use this by itself, but I like using this to set cream contours and also just to mix with my other favorite bronzers, because I have a habit of mixing like 3 or 4 bronzers sometimes, which I know sounds really ridiculous, but it's honestly the best ever. You can get the best of everything. Then I have an Hourglass blush here as well, which is in the shade Brilliant Nude, and it's just like a really nice neutral nude colored blush because you just never know what mood you're going to be in, so I like to carry more than one. So this is the first, and it's a more neutral option, and isn't it so pretty? Then I have my Holy Grail. This is my Holy Grail #1 blush. I wear it all the time. It is the shade New Romance by MAC. It is honestly the best peachy colored blush in existence. I seriously cannot rave about it enough. I love it. Then I have another highlighter because, like I keep saying, I like to have options when I go away. So this one is in the shade Double Gleam, and it's a MAC Cosmetics Extra Dimension Skin Finish. It is just the most perfect light creamy color. Then in this back section I have a bunch of miscellaneous products, but the first being Blistex Lip Conditioner, because you need to keep those lips hydrated, and I get really chapped lips, which, speaking of which, I think I have my exfoliant in here, which I do. This is a Tarte Lip Facial, so it's just like a lip scrub. It's like a sugar scrub sort of thing, but in a stick version. I also have a Tarte Skinny Smolder Eyes black eyeliner pencil. It's just a very simple pencil, but I like to actually line my lash line with this because you guys know I don't do wings and I don't really use liquid liner, so I just use a pencil, and this is one I'm vibing with at the moment. It's very nice and black. I have some Tarte eyelash tweezers, and then next up I have the Mecca Max Power Couple mascara. I only just hauled this recently, but this is a new favorite in my collection. It has 2 different mascara wands. It's got the really thin end, which way do I need to hold it? That way. Gosh, I'm trying to hold it like away from the black background so you can see, and my bearings are off with what way I need to put my hands on camera. But as you can see, it has like this super fine little wand, and then on the other end it has like more of a traditional mascara wand, which is just like a massive big wand that's just great for volumizing your lashes. So I also have my Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray. This stuff is no joke. This locks your foundation down like cement. If I want to make sure I'm not going to get an oily forehead throughout the day and I don't want my makeup to break up throughout the day, I definitely set my face with this. It is a lifesaver. I only have the travel size at the moment, but I'm going to buy the full size because it's so good. And then next up I have the Duo Lash Adhesive. This is just like a really basic lash adhesive. It's not like super glue by any means, so I feel like my lashes last maybe 6 hours on the eyes when I wear this, but I like it because it doesn't pull out your eyelashes, which is so important when you're wearing strip lashes. You don't want to rip out what actual lashes you do have. Then next up I have the Benefit Cut Brow, which is just a brow pomade, and it's one of the greatest pomades of all time. So I have this in shade 2. It comes with its own little brush, and it's such a good brush. It's just so nice and defined that it really helps to sculpt your brows out and get in there specifically, and like really specifically place products. So I really like their Brow. It's a really great formula. It does tend to like dry out, or like it feels like it dries out, but all you have to do is just agitate the surface. You just get your brush and you like scrub around the surface and it makes it all creamy again. Then next up I just have another pair of tweezers because, girl, you never know when you're gonna have to tweeze some facial hair. Then I have my favorite lip liners and favorite lip glosses. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would see these all the time on my face. The first one is Skimpy by Colourpop, and this is a lip liner, and the second one is called Birdie. So one is more nude and the other is more pink. So they are my 2 favorite lip liners. I love them, and I love the undertones of both of them as well. And as most of you know, I am more of a gloss girl, so these are my 2 #1 favorite glosses of all time. The first is Kylie Cosmetics So Cute. This is her nudie colored gloss. It is just everything. I swear I put this on top of everything. If anything feels a little bit too dark or I need like a bit more of a neutral undertone on top, this is what I reach for. I love her glosses so damn much. Then I have the Too Faced Peach Fuzz peach gloss. So these are infused with like peach oils and stuff, and they are really hydrating. They smell good and they taste good, and they're honestly one of the best lip gloss formulations I've ever tried. So I always need a mirror with me when I'm traveling, and I just keep my mirror in this top side pocket, and there it is, and it's my Benefit mirror. This is like one of the prettiest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I love having my Benefit mirror with me to do my makeup. Then up the top here I have all of my brushes. These are all by Sigma, and don't forget I do have a discount code that you guys can use. It is just Hannah, and if you enter that you'll get 10% off your brushes all year round. These are my #1 holy grail brushes. I just don't use anything else. They're just so friggin' good. So the first one is a Sigma F30 powder brush. This brush is perfect for setting your face or using an all over face powder. So this is the Sigma F10 powder blush brush, and it is a super multi-purpose brush. I like using this for face powders, bronzers, blush, all of that. Then I have the F25 tapered face brush. I like to use this if I am baking. So if I'm baking, I just find this perfect to swipe away the bake because it's a nice, really diffuse, soft brush. As you can see, the bristles like move about a fair bit, and it just really removes bake perfectly without disturbing any of your other face products. I then have the Extreme Structure F04 contouring brush, and this is amazing for cream contour products. So I like to just dip this straight into my Chanel bronzer, and then I deposit it all around my face wherever I want it. And then I like to use the F05 small contour brush to set my contour, or if I am contouring with powder products, that I use this one because it's much smaller and dense and more defined, so you can really deposit product in a precise location on your face. Then I always carry 2 tapered highlighter brushes, which are the F35 brushes, because one I use to actually set my under eyes with my powder, and I always use the copper one for that, and then the one with the silver ferrule I use for my actual cheekbone highlight. Then next up I have the large angled contour E40 brush. This is another really multi-purpose brush. It's great to use for contour or for blush. Then next up I have 2 of the same foundation brushes, and these are the angled Kabukis. So these are definitely my favorite foundation brushes. I just really like sort of how they're a little bit more flimsy than the normal traditional Kabukis. Then I have the Soft Blend Concealer F64 brush, which I actually use to blend out my eyelid primers. So I use the, actually did I even put that in here? I should have had my Too Faced Shadow Insurance in here because I never not prime my eyes. So mental note, Too Faced Shadow Insurance should be in this case as well. But back to this brush. This is a Soft Blend Concealer brush, and I use this to blend out my actual eyelid primer. Then next up I have all of my eye brushes. So I usually bring multiples of the same brush. So this black one here, which I have in both the copper and the silver, are the E40 brushes, which are perfect for blending out your crease transition shades. So they're really nice and fluffy, and they just really blend everything out amazingly. Then next up I have the E35, which is just that tiny bit more tapered compared to the E40. So I like to have this one just for options, you know, I just like options. Then I have the E25 brush, and I like using these to really deposit product on my outer V. It just really concentrates the product nicely while still being fluffy enough to get a really great blend transition. So I love those, and I always carry 2 of them. Then I have the Firm Shader E57 brush, and this is my favorite brush to use to pack product all over my lid. Then I have the Short Shader E20 brush, and I actually like to use this for my lower lash line. And then I just have an E80, which is just a spoolie because I always like to carry an additional spoolie with me. Lucky last, but certainly not least, this is the Inner Corner Shader brush. It is the E46, and it is the most perfect brush to use for your inner corner highlight. So guys, that is literally everything in my travel makeup bag. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Leave me some comments on if we share any holy grail favorite products. I'd love to know what you guys take traveling with you too. If you're a new face, welcome to my channel. You should definitely subscribe. And as always, thank you so very much to everyone who has watched, especially if you've watched to the very end. I really appreciate it. And I'll be talking to you guys all really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.